Here's a little recap of my few days in DC, which was pretty nice. I mean, I went because I just wanted to do really just one thing, which was pilot my lavender marriage. So one of my good friends, um, I think probably my strongest prospect for a lavender marriage at the moment. We're both single, unclear what the future holds for either of us, and I think we're pretty aligned in some ways, and we get along pretty well. And I mean, I was kind of joking, like I don't want to come on a weekend where we're sort of thinking about how to fill up our time versus just we both work and we do dinner, we do lunch, and we kind of cook and we just chit chat. And honestly, that's kind of maybe my preferred way of doing vacation at this point, which is just going to visit friends who don't live in my city and just getting away and being able to escape. I mean, the nice part about DC, at least compared to New York, is that a lot of the folks there can actually afford to own a place and they're still within city limits, unlike here where you got to be like way rich in order for that to make sense. And so, um, it's nice when someone has a spare bedroom and you don't actually have to sleep on a couch, even though I'm not above couches or air mattresses. We'll travel for cool times and like a conversation, which she and I always have. The other part is it was nice to see trees. Like I saw so many leaves. I know that sounds so crazy, but it almost feels like in New York City, poor people don't deserve trees. As Nicki Minaj would say, poor people should never laugh. It really kind of feels like living here. Poor people don't deserve trees. I was just like looking at the fall foliage and thinking, wow, this is so pretty. And maybe it's the case that I just don't notice it because I live in the city, but we don't got trees like that. And the only time I can really think about leaves is if I go to Prospect Park or Central Park, and I don't have time for that. It's nice to just see leaves casually. And then onto the other part, met up with a former classmate from college, and then also met up with someone that I know from Twitter who I've met up with before. And then I ran into some of the men's on the apps who told me that they follow me here, and either they didn't know I was single or maybe they don't pay attention, or I don't really know what it is. But basically, if you're kind of cute, you should just DM slide or just say like, hey. I also realized, because one guy made a really good point, I was like, well, why don't you just say something before? He was like, because I don't want to be a creep. And then, to be fair, there is a fine line between being a creep and sort of being well received, which is how attracted the person is to you. So, I don't know. I just feel like sometimes we're all really scared and frightened, and maybe we don't need to be as much as we should be. So, if you follow someone and they follow you back, and then you like pictures or their posts that are just them, maybe they kind of like you too, or maybe it's just like a soft signal. Um, or just leave a comment. I don't know. I like really don't mind being bold and sort of, I have messaged people across many social media platforms and I'll just say, oh, you're fine. And maybe it's not well received. And I just brush it off and let it go. There's actually a straight man here who, on this app that I left a comment and he replied, and then I replied, and he replied again. And I say that to say, I'm not advocating for the harassment of the straights, but more so, shoot your shot, you know? What's the worst that could happen? We are all too old to just be afraid. At least that's how I live. And I'm like, I gotta be with somebody who's bold because I'm a steamroller. Not because I want to be, but I just I just don't know how not to be. So DC was great. If these men don't get it together by age 40, which is about 3 years away from me, um, yeah, it's looking like lavender might be the color. So help me not be lavender.